Let's send it down to Madi Morris. Madi?
Thanks, guys. Now for UTEP interim head coach Mike Price, this is not his first time coaching here in Roberts Stadium. Price, who coached the UTEP Miners from 2004 to 2012, is actually a perfect 2-0 here in Hattiesburg. I had a chance to catch up with Coach Price yesterday and asked about his most vivid memory of coaching the Miners to victory here at the Rock. Hey everyone, Madi Morris here inside the Conference USA studio. That's right, Ron and Keith. Now, not only does Autry Golden play wide receiver for the Miners, but he's also their top kickoff returner. Joined by Florida Atlantic head coach Lane Kiffin. Coach, first off, congratulations on winning the East Division title in your first year. What does that mean for you, the players, and the program? Madi Morris here with NCAA Social, and I'm here with the USBWA National Freshman of the Year, Kennedy Carter. Kennedy, thank you so much for joining me. Are you excited to be here? With both UTSA and FIU looking for that coveted 6th win for bowl eligibility tonight, head coaches Frank Wilson and Butch Davis have done an incredible job leading their teams to success this season. The 6th-seeded Southern Miss Golden Eagles have already shocked people this week in the Air Force Reserve Conference USA Women's Soccer Championship. First, they eliminated the 3-seed UAB in the quarterfinals, then pulled off the upset over the 2-seed Florida Atlantic in the semis. Today, they face their toughest challenge as they take on top-seeded North Texas, who is averaging 18 shots a game this week. In order to come away with the program's first ever Conference USA Women's Soccer Championship title, the Golden Eagle defense, led by sophomore goalie Kendall Mednick, will have to stop the electric Mean Green offense.
Let's check in with Madi Morris.
Now for the Sith family, this Old Dominion men's basketball team is a family affair. Assistant coach Bryant has been there for 4 seasons. His son Brandon is a senior and his son BJ is a junior. They used to play for their dad when they were in high school, and this whole thing kind of happened accidentally. Both boys went to colleges prior to Old Dominion, ended up back at Old Dominion, and he said he's so grateful and so blessed that he's able to experience this, not only this season, but the conference championship with his sons, and so we'll just see how they do tonight against these Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Coach, I know you said you pride yourself on your guys' defensive efforts, and I know they had a lot of pressure this half, so I guess what are you guys going to try to do to possess it? Hey everyone, Madi Morris with Conference USA up here in Denton, Texas for day 2 of the Women's Conference Championship. Thanks guys, and actually quarterback Chase Linton will be wearing a different number than usual tonight. Instead of wearing the number 1, he'll be wearing the number 14 in honor of the late quarterback Ted Shoebridge. Today's rivalry game between Florida Atlantic and FIU is known as the Shula Bowl after former Miami Dolphin head coach Don Shula. And then lastly, as the head coach, what is it like to see the players experience this success since they haven't had it in a while? It's pretty chilly out here in Milwaukee as I have my winter coat and gloves on, 33 degrees to be exact. But inside the BMO Harris Bradley Center, the Blue Raiders are ready to heat things up this afternoon. Louisiana Tech senior Pauline Tuffy. Pauline, I don't know if you remember, but I came out to Ruston in October and talked to you guys, and you said that this team is something special.
It really is.
What does it mean to be able to accomplish this with this team? Middle Tennessee has been dominant all year long, and they haven't skipped a beat in this year's championship. Let's see how the Blue Raiders made it to their 3rd straight title game. There was a question whether or not you guys were going to make it to the NCAA tournament. What does it feel like knowing that you guys for sure will be going dancing? Here with head coach Marshall. Coach, what did you tell your players before this game that they came out swinging those bats like that? Now, all the games we've talked about involve schools who have gone bowling recently, but this next school hasn't played in a bowl game since 2008, and it's our 2017 conference champs, Florida Atlantic. They'll be playing at home in the Cheribundi Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl against Akron. Now, I don't know how much you know about these teams, maybe some more than others, but what are some things that each team has to do to be successful in tonight's game? Obviously, there's some question on who's going to be playing quarterback, but it doesn't really matter who's playing quarterback when you have someone like Richie James in the game. Already a historic season for you guys. Most wins in school history, regular season champions. What would it mean to take home the conference championship? Barely sneaking into the tournament as the ace seed this year, the 2016 conference champs, the Charlotte 49ers, find themselves playing in their 2nd straight title game. Let's take a look back to see how the team got to the point of defending their title. Now, I know that there's a lot to look forward to this season, but first let's talk about last season. I know you guys had a tremendous season, 50 wins, 5 conference losses before the conference tournament. Can you just reflect on last season a little bit? For you, what does it mean to be a member of this Cardinals basketball team? Coach, so you guys were able to win at home yet again. You're undefeated here at home. Do you guys have a special mojo here? Now, David Morgan is a leader for this Roadrunner program. He's actually been with it since the beginning in 2011, and he has the most touchdowns for the program with a total of 7. And recently this week, he was named to the John Mackey Watch List, which is an award given to one of the nation's top tight ends. And not only is he good at catching touchdowns, but he also was the only player at Media Days in West Palm Beach in July who caught the fish. So, you know, he's catching fish, he's catching touchdowns. Who knows what he's going to do today in the game. Thanks, guys. Now, Coach, you guys were trailing at half. What do you have to say about your team's resiliency tonight? The last time the conference championship was hosted here for the men, you guys won. What does it mean to be able to do it again? Not only is this exciting for Coach Randy Norton to be here in the Cleveland team, but also his son, Nick Norton, who's a junior on the UAB men's team. They played last night. They beat Florida Atlantic, so they're moving on to the quarterfinals. They'll play this evening. And last season, Nick was out with an ACL injury, so he's excited to be able to experience this with his son, and he's super pumped that they're both here. They were watching film on their way, coming down here at the airport, so this is a very cool father-son moment that they can both experience together. With so much on the line, which team will be advancing to play the winner of North Carolina and Arkansas and Memphis next week? Tune in to TBS at 6:10 p.m. Central to see if the Blue Raiders can continue their magical season. For Conference USA, I'm Madi Morris.
Well, these are moments that competitors like Dixon live for.
If you're familiar with Marshall softball, you know the name Jordan Dixon. And even though for the last 4 years all eyes have been on her in the center circle, she hasn't always been in the limelight.
Growing up, Miranda and Leslie were always very, very good in softball, and of course they played in the SEC for the University of Arkansas. And the boys were very good in wrestling. Well, wrestling, baseball, football, that was and Jordy kind of lived in their shadow a little bit. She was in the Dixon girls' shadow, and then she was in the Dixon triplet shadow. And so she always worked twice as hard because she wanted to make a name for herself.
Growing up in a competitive household with 5 extremely athletic siblings, Dixon played softball just as her older sisters did and was hoping to follow in their footsteps.
I watched my sisters going on visits to major schools like Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, just these huge schools. And I got up there and I was like, well, why is Tennessee not hitting it? Why are all these big schools not hitting me up? And I realized very quickly I'm a much different type of athlete than my sisters were.
Short in stature, coming in at only 5'3", Dixon did not look like your average textbook pitcher.
Little short fingers and just not really what you would pick a really good pitcher to be. She's not your typical pitcher style looking person. You wouldn't think that you could develop someone with those credentials.
But that didn't stop Marshall head coach Shonda Stanton from taking interest in pursuing the pitcher.
She's a bulldog, and she reminds us a lot of Ace that we had prior to her. Same thing, not the stature, that long build, like our pitching coach. You're 5'11" and have the levers. And when you're a little bit shorter in stature, you got to put everything behind it, and you got to go after it. And we knew she was strong, and so she had those intangibles as far as strength. We just knew we had to guide them in the right direction.
Coach Stanton's persistence paid off, and after graduating high school, Jordan packed up her car and drove the 950 miles to Huntington, West Virginia to start her own journey.
Partly why I chose to come so far was because I wanted to make a name for myself outside of, oh, you're the Dixon sister, or you're the triplet sister. So that was a big deal for me, finding myself, finding my own identity within softball.
As she grew and developed during her time at Marshall, she faced challenges on the field as well as off it, having to deal with the loss of a close friend and her mother being diagnosed with breast cancer last spring.
The type of cancer I have, we have to do the worst chemo on the face of the earth, which is called Red Devil. So we decided to go full-blown, very aggressive, 100% aggressive. So I had a double mastectomy, I had the chemo, I had every single thing you could possibly do to possibly keep it at hand's length for the rest of my life.
But even with the outside distractions, when she stepped on the field, she got into the zone and took a page from her courageous mother's book.
My mom has to make the decision to wake up every single day and fight, and she's gonna have a good day, and that's the same thing I do. I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna do my best. Softball is my release, I'm not gonna think about that stuff, I'm gonna make my family proud, I'm gonna do everything I can, and so that has really just pushed me to be the best I can.
And that fire and desire to be the best helped Jordan to become one of the top pitchers in Marshall history. Having recorded more than 1,100 career strikeouts, Dixon ranks first in the record books in strikeouts, wins, and innings pitched, and recorded 3 no-hitters in her time pitching for the Thundering Herd.
She gets the grab and gets the no-no.
In her senior season alone, she led the team to a 41-10 overall record, a regular season championship, and an NCAA tournament berth.
I didn't expect this. But you know, I always know she's going to do good in whatever she does. I didn't expect this. This is kind of a shocker.
It's amazing. Like I said, we don't set expectations as far as numbers. We have lofty goals and dreams, but we never want to cap it. And so to be able to see a young kid come in and just continue to get better and better. And so it's been fun to just really see her grow in her confidence and to see now where she's taken us. I mean, it's fast pitch softball reason. You're not going to go far if you don't have an ace in the circle. And what a warrior. I mean, she's pitched over 1,000 innings. I mean, she has put us on her back on numerous occasions, and that's been fun to watch and really a joy to coach. But I'm more proud of the individual that she's become. We knew, like we said, she had those strengths coming in, but sometimes you just had to curve them in the right direction. And I'm fully confident that she's going to go out into the world and be a huge success, whatever she wants to do.
With the end goal of making a name for herself, which is something she has without a doubt done at Marshall, there was always one thing she had in the back of her mind.
Athletically, I'm not the best athlete in the family, but I wanted to make a name for myself like my siblings have. I want to prove that I am the best, and regardless of what conference it is, I am one of the top athletes in the country.